Talking of new owners, we'll finish up with Chelsea have now seemingly done a deal with Mauricio Pochettino. And what's your reaction to that?
Todd Boehly's not a new owner. It feels like he's been in about 200 years. We've talked that much about him. I love Pochettino, so I can look. I said a couple of weeks ago, I think it was Monday Night Football, maybe on this podcast, that they could be Mauricio Pochettino away and refining the squad and adding one or two more players to it in the right positions that they're short in, for him having a very good season next season. I think Mauricio Pochettino will not take a job on where he didn't think there is huge potential to get Chelsea back up to the very top of the league, and he's done it at Tottenham. It's not a too dissimilar situation to what he faced at Tottenham, where he had a group of players that didn't run as much as he wanted them to. They may be a bit older than he liked, and now he's going to have a group of younger players at Chelsea with some older players, maybe don't run as much as he'd like them to, maybe not as organised as they should be, haven't got the patterns of play that he'd want, but I think he can put it into them very, very quickly, and appointing him early and getting him in place and getting him, looking forward to pre-season and the plans, the recruitment and what they're going to do, bring some stability. He will bring stability straight away because he won't have any nonsense in and around him. All that stuff about owners turning up in the dressing room, Mauricio Pochettino isn't going to have that. He isn't going to accept that. So I think from that point of view, it's a really good move. It was him or Ten Hag when obviously Manchester United were reappointing. At the time, because I knew Mauricio Pochettino, I said that I felt as though that would be a great appointment, but Erik Ten Hag was also a hugely talented coach. He had a great first season, so Manchester United couldn't really lose, in my opinion, out of those two. And I don't think Chelsea can lose with this appointment. He'll make massive improvements straight away, I feel.
What he has to do is trim the squad. I mean, how's he going to be able to do that? Surely it won't just be his choice. I mean, they've got players in the last 3 months, 4 months, who are on long-term deals, and he might not. You can't go with 31 players again next season, surely.
I think that because Mauricio Pochettino's been going to Chelsea now for 3 or 4 weeks, and they've been in negotiations, it's felt like, for 3 or 4 weeks. I don't think that will have been about his package or his backroom team. I think that will have been about, you're going to buy into what I want to do with this squad, because he'll have looked at them meticulously, Mauricio Pochettino, and his recruitment people around him and his staff. And they'll have said, right, these are the players I want on the bus. These are the players I don't want on the bus. And you better back me, else there's no point in me coming in. And I suspect that's where the negotiations been probably centred in this last few weeks about, well, how much money are we actually going to lose out of all this money that we've spent straight away? And we'll have to write off a lot of our investment because he might not want some of those players. They don't fit into his ideology of what a football team looks like.
They're on 7-year contracts, some of them.
I know, but they're going to have to basically suck on the lemon, the owners, and back a manager who knows what he's doing, who's done it at Southampton, who's done it at Tottenham, who's obviously had a different type of job at Paris Saint-Germain, but that experience will have helped him, I'm sure, in terms of his experience, of his managerial journey. And he's coming back to Chelsea. I think that the owners have set out with Graham Potter for a long-term project, and it's not worked. But I think with Mauricio Pochettino, they can set off on that long-term idea, with that long-term idea as well, because he thinks that way, Mauricio Pochettino. I don't think he coaches for today. I think he coaches for that 3-4 year period and tries to build a body of work and success. So I think that it's a good appointment by Chelsea, and they've needed someone who can be a face of the club, who represents consistency, reliability. They've not had anything this season that's been reliable. You said last week they've sacked the groundsman, they've sacked the sports scientist, they've sacked their sporting director, they've sacked their manager twice.
Pretty much every department's been pruned, I think, yeah.
And so if you look at the whole club, it's just been washed out. So from that point of view, they need somebody who can stand out there that everybody respects and that everybody sort of can say they've got some authority. And Mauricio Pochettino has that.